suspended Public Protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane says she'll report for work this morning. She says her suspension has lapsed. Her reasoning is that it was only valid until the inquiry into her fitness to hold office concluded its work. Mkhwebane says she has notified President Cyril Ramaphosa of her intention to go back to office. It comes a week before Parliament is scheduled to vote on a report which recommended her removal from office. It will also vote on her successor that same day. Let's get your reaction to this. We're joined this morning by the DA's Advocate Glynnis Breytenbach. Advocate Breytenbach, thanks very much for joining us this morning. What's your take on this in terms of just the process part of things? Given that the inquiry has wrapped up its work, it's made its recommendation, does it mean that, according to what Advocate Mkhwebane is saying, that she can now go back to office?
Definitely not. Advocate Mkhwebane has on so many occasions in the past demonstrated her depressing lack of understanding of the law and of the Constitution, and she's just, compounded it again. It's very clear from Section 194 that deals with the removal of the Public Protector that the commission that was set up, the ad hoc commission, must make a recommendation to the National Assembly, and the important word is and the National Assembly must either adopt that report or not adopt it with the required threshold in the National Assembly. So the work of the committee is simply to recommend a finding to the National Assembly, and the proceedings will be finalized once the National Assembly has taken a decision one way or the other. I suspect that Mkhwebane knows that. She's being misguided. She's being deliberately, arrogant, and it's a big mistake. She's not doing herself any favors. She's ruined that office, and she seems intent on continuing to do so. Her behavior does her no credit, nor does it do the office any credit, and she's just clearly wrong in law.
Okay, wrong in law, and if, as you say, this is a willful sort of step that she is taking, knowing full well what the law does say, to what end would she be doing this, do you reckon?
Well, Mkhwebane has this long association with state security, and that has been a large portion of the influence on the way she conducted herself in that office, which is something that we warned about right at the beginning. But this is a classic sort of divide and rule and destabilize and throw a cat amongst the pigeons move that you would have learnt from them. It does her no credit, and if she does attempt to go to that office today, it's going to be very embarrassing for her because she has no legal right to be there, and I'm quite sure she'll be removed. There's no dignity in this kind of approach, although dignity is not something that appears to have been on her agenda throughout. And also, she's obviously trying to build a case for funding for her continued legal battles. So if she's back in office, then she can, even in inverted commas, she can try and access funding. So I presume that this is just an ill-conceived, ill-advised, very embarrassing step, another very ill-conceived, ill-advised, misguided step by Ms. Mkhwebane to she continued to sully her own reputation.
Yeah. I've got a statement here from the Office of the Public Protector in response to Advocate Mkhwebane and her announcement that she will be back at office today. And part of what the letter from the Public Protector's office says is the institution acknowledges the importance of the subject matter and hereby advises that the Public Protector is not an employee of the Office of the Public Protector. So given that, given that the office itself says she is no longer in the employ of the Public Protector, if she does rock up there today, what do you reckon the next steps would be?
Well, there will be clear instructions to security to bar her entrance, I would imagine. She has no legal right to go there and to resume her space in her office. There is an acting Public Protector in situ, and who has every right to deny her access, which I'm sure they'll do. And Mr. Mkhwebane will cause an unnecessary scene which will not end well for her. So it's a really ill-advised step in every respect, both to her sort of her personal situation, her legal situation, and it's just the arrogance of it is gobsmacking. It's and the lack of understanding of the law is just so underlined. I don't know who's advising her, but it's very, very, very poor advice.
You know, if indeed she does rock up at the Office of the Public Protector today, and the drama that may well then unfold as a result of that, it speaks to what the office has become known for, right? It's a Section 9, it's a Chapter 9 institution, and yet that has taken a back burner in recent months, the important work that the Public Protector is meant to do.
Absolutely. You know, the Public Protector's Office is an exceptionally important Chapter 9 institution that's underlined by the fact that the procedure to remove the Public Protector is such a convoluted one. For a good reason. Security of tenure is important in that office. That's why the appointment procedure should be, you know, so important, should be so strenuous, because it is an important office. It is often the last bulwark between the public and you know, state corruption, which we've seen it be. It's an incredibly it's an office that allows, you know, Joe Soap access to the law and to an office that they generally wouldn't have. It's a very, very important office. And it should be, you know, treated that way. The head of that office should lead with absolute unimpeachable integrity, and that's just not been the case with Mkhwebane. And I hate to say we told you so, but we did.
I wonder, and perhaps, you know, the people for whom the important services of the Public Protector have maybe been affected over the past couple of years. Do you reckon that the 11th of September will close this chapter on the Public Protector? Or do you reckon there is still some way to go insofar as the suspended Public Protector is concerned?
I sincerely hope that all the members of the National Assembly arrive for work on that day, and I hope that they all apply their minds and follow their conscience. It's very, very clear that Ms. Mkhwebane has been nothing but a disaster from day one. She has never clothed that office with any dignity. She has gone from one massive debacle to another. She's been found wanting in terms of her knowledge of the law and the Constitution and the space, the framework, the constitutional framework within she has to operate on so many occasions by the highest court in this country. There can be no question but that she has to go. And the events of the last couple of months, or the last over a year, in the 194 committee have just shown that she neither has respect for the law for herself or for that office.
Advocate Glynnis Breytenbach, let me thank you for weighing in. Some strong words there from you this morning. And we will get a response from Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane as well. She joins us in the 8 o'clock hour of the program. Advocate Breytenbach, thanks very much indeed for your time.